Welcome back to my channel where I teach you how to start, build and grow your online business with Squarespace. Today we're going to be diving into a Squarespace 7.1 tutorial showing you how to build a website from scratch. So if that's something you're interested in, please hang around. Now, Squarespace did update to 7.1 a few months ago, but their 7.0 version templates are still available. So if you would like to use 7.0 to create your website, I do have a video on this that you can find here or in the description below. And one last thing before we dive in is that you will notice as we start building out the site that the aesthetic is very feminine. I went for like a girly feel, floral patterns. It was designed to be quite elegant for maybe a content creator, social influencer or service provider. If that's not you, please don't let that put you off watching, as I do show you how to completely customize the backgrounds, the fonts, the colors and the designs and the images to match your brand, so you can have it look however you want. Once you understand how to build a site with Squarespace, the rest is super simple. So if you're ready to dive in, I am too. Let's head over to the computer now. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is come to squarespace.com and click on Get Started. You will then be asked to pick a template. These are all 7.1 templates, which means they can all be customized to fit your needs. All functions and features are available on all of the templates. We're going to start with Beaumont, so just click here. You will then be asked to create an account. I already have an account, so I'm going to go ahead and log in. And welcome to your new site. Give it a name, click Continue, Next, Next, and Get Started. We now have the basis of your website. Now I'm going to quickly scroll through these settings because I don't want to spend too much time on it, but it is important that you fill these in. So you could choose your language and region, your business information such as your phone number, email, location and hours. If you have a physical location or you serve a geographical area, make sure to include this so that search engines can pick it up and you can appear in the local search. You have your social links, so here you just add your social links by typing them in here and they will appear wherever you add social links. So you see in the top right hand corner here they're appearing. You then have connected accounts. So if we click connect accounts, you've got all these social accounts, and what's different about these versus your social links is your social links literally just link to the social platform, whereas here when you connect an account you can pull information from any of these platforms and you can push information out to these platforms. For example, we're going to connect Instagram, and that will allow us to pull in our Instagram feed and display it on our website in real time. So click Instagram and you'll see a pop-up appear allowing you to log in. So just log into your Instagram account, click Save, come back into Settings. Then we have extensions, which are more for when you've actually published your site. Permissions, if you want to add people to contribute to your site. You've got domains. You can use a domain that you own. I actually have a video on this, so I'm not going to go into that in too much detail. Or you can buy a domain through Squarespace. It's about $20 a year, to do that. And then you have a built-in domain. So we're going to click and change this just now so it's a little bit more readable and relevant. Confirm, come back out into domains. You have your email in G Suite, so you can connect your G Suite account or purchase it through Squarespace so you have a professional work email. Billing and accounting, pretty self-explanatory. Mobile information bar is when you subscribe and you can have a mobile information bar at the top. Cookies and visitor data, you definitely want to enable a cookie banner and you could change how it looks. So I like to do a pop-up and you could choose where it displays. I like the bottom left, so I'm just going to hit save. Blogging, you could choose if you want to share comments and enable them globally. I always like to do that because it is always good to have interaction on your site. If you're worried, you can always require approval and then hit save. And then advanced is just some extra settings, like if you want to connect API keys. So if this is how you would connect your Google Analytics. Again, I have another video on that, so I won't go into it. Code injection, if you have a business plan or higher, you can add code. URL mappings, if you would like to add redirect links. Again, I have a video on this, so I'll link that as well if you want to do that. Import and export is a little glitchy right now on 7.1, so I'd hold off on this if you're watching this near the time of my publication. I'm sure they'll figure it out in the coming months. SSL certificate included, and these are just some little extras too. And that's pretty much the back end of your settings. So we're just going to go ahead and dive into actually building your site out now. And the first thing I'm going to do is come to design. Now, if you've used Squarespace before, you'll notice with Squarespace 7.1, this is a very different look and feel, but it is actually a little bit easier if this is your first time building out a site. So we're going to go to fonts, and you'll see that there's a lot of pre-created font combinations here, sans serif options, serif options, and of course mixed. We're going to go for serif, and we're going to use the Kepler combination. If you want to use your own combination, you just click this little gear icon. So you can come in here and adjust the headings, paragraphs, buttons, meta descriptions, and then you can click on advanced if you want to go into even more detail and customize every different element of your site fonts. We're sticking with Kepler, so we're going to come back out of design. We're going to go into colors. And this is where you could choose the color palette for your website. Now again, a big difference in 7.1 is you have these themes which allow you a little bit more customization around the sections of your site. So instead of having one color background with a set of settings that have to apply to every page of your website, by having a color palette in these different theme options, you can adjust each section so that it gives it just a little bit more flexibility. So if we click on edit, there's some different options here. You can upload an image and it will pull the colors from that, and that can make up your palette. This is great if you have a mood board. You can choose from one color, designer palettes here which are pre-created, or what we're going to do is we're going to click the drop down there and go on to custom colors. And I'm just going to input these custom colors in here. So if I pull this, I'll pull up my little Parisian template folder set up, and this is how I recommend that you set up your website too. It makes it a lot easier when it comes to actually plugging all the content in. So we're going to keep the black and white, and then I'm just going to adjust these last three. Just copy and paste the hex codes. And there we have it, and you'll see that the theme's automatically updated. So we're going to click save. So next we have animations. This is if you want to add any animations to your site. You can do a standard fade and it'll show you what it looks like, or a scale, and you could choose if you want it to be slow, medium, or fast. So if I do fade, this will give you an example. We'll stick with this one for now. It is a good idea. It gives a little bit more of a dynamic feel to your website, but do keep in mind it slows your website down slightly, especially if you start customizing all the individual elements. So just keep that in mind when you're putting together your site. You want a clean, simple, easy, fast experience for your website visitor that isn't distracting to them. So click save. We'll come back out of design, and you can adjust spacing if you wish. Now here it says page width 1400. We're going to change it to 1800. Click save. Then we have our buttons, which is the last thing we're going to really focus on right now. And I've got it as an outline. I like it as an outline for this design, but you can choose solid if you wish. You can also choose if you want it rounded or a pill shape. Now these different elements down here, such as image blocks and product items, we're not going to include a store with this template. If you would like me to do e-commerce, like how to build a store with Squarespace, make sure to leave a comment below and I'll definitely add that to my list. And then image blocks I tend to leave for now and adjust after I've put the content in so that I can see what it looks like and if I need to make any adjustments. Browser icon is your favicon up here. We're going to change that, so I'm going to click on browser icon and we're going to upload that now and click save. Back into design. And we're just going to focus on that for now. So come back into home, go into pages, and we're now going to start building out our pages. So I'm going to start by deleting our demo content. To do that, you just hover over it and click the little bin. Now work is our home page. You'll see the little home icon. So we need to change the home page. It won't let you delete the home page without assigning a new one. So come up here to this plus icon and select blank page. We're going to call it home. Then we're going to hover over, click the gear icon, scroll down and set as home page, confirm, and then close. That's now our home page, and we can delete our work page. Okay, once we've done that, we're going to add another page, plus icon, blank page, about, and another for services, another for our portfolio, and another for our contact page. Now you'll see that this is displaying as if it's on mobile, so I'm just going to pull this out so you can see what it's like on desktop. And we want to change the order of this. To do that, we just hover over it, click and drag to our desired position. Okay, so we've got our navigation menu at the top. We're going to go back into home and we're going to click edit and start building out this page. So if I just pull this over, I'll close this, I'll open my tab again, and then I have my home folder, and I've tried to name everything so it's pretty easy to follow. So we're going to click add page content, and I'm going to select blank, but you'll see there's all these really amazing pre-created sections where you can just click in and adjust. I'll show you one in a moment so you can get an idea. You've got list, galleries, quotes, videos, whatever you like. So click blank for now. So click the teardrop icon, and this time we're going to bring up a text content block. Now I'm going to bring up my text for my home page. It's just lorem ipsum content for just filler content just now, and I'm going to paste it. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is click the teardrop icon under the welcome, and I'm going to select a line. I'm going to highlight the welcome, make it a large header, and then I'm going to drag the line to the side of it here. Perfect. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hover under the text again, and I'm going to select a button. I'm going to put learn more, and to click through to the about page, I'm just going to put / about. Now the other way you can do it is click this gear icon, select page, and you can search your page and select it that way. Medium is fine. Center, we don't want it to be centered, we want it to be to the right. And we'll click apply. Now next we're going to hover over the second column and we're going to select an image. And I'm going to upload my first image. Once that's uploaded, click on the design tab and you can adjust to fit your needs. We're going to pick stack. And this one we don't need an image link, but if you ever do want to do an image link, you can have it so that the image itself links to a page or the button itself links to a page. And again, if you want to add any extra animations, you can use your site default or you can customize that here. There's a few more extra options here. We'll leave it as is and click apply. Now I'm going to show you how I created this image in Canva. Now if you come over to Canva, you'll see I have these vertical images that I'm using, and I tend to do the same size for all. It's 1000 by 1500 pixels, and this one I've just searched an image. And then I came to elements and I put square, or you can click on shapes and you'll see here. So I clicked the square and I adjust the color to the gold again and gave it a border. So it was really simple to do. You can upload your own image in Canva and adjust that accordingly here as well if you wish. Now the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to click on this little pencil icon, and you can change the section height here so that it's small, medium or large, and you could change the content width so it's small, medium or large. We're going to select medium. You can also change the content alignment. I like everything to be kept in the middle. Next, you choose your background. Now we do have a background image, so I'm going to click add an image, go to my first background, click open. Okay, so it turns out in the editing process, I realized I completely blanked and forgot to show you how to create these backgrounds, which is a pretty big deal, especially if you want to customize it to a different style and design. You want to change the florals, create another kind of pattern or whatever. So how you do this is you just go to your account, you create a design, custom dimensions. You're going to do 1800 by 1400, and once you've got that, this is your background. Now you'll see throughout the tutorial that I do adjust some of the backgrounds, but I always start with each background section being the same height just for ease. Now all I did to create these designs, you'll see I've labeled them all here. If I come all the way down I just add a new page. Now I've chosen the color that I'm looking for, the snow color. And then all I do is I went to elements and I searched for an element that I might like. So I have the floral image here. This is one that I used. I just searched flowers and I scrolled through till I found that. So if we just take this one here and I place it up here, I just dragged it out. You'll see Canva's really easy to use. You just drag it and drop it. If you want me to do another tutorial just showing you how to customize graphics with Canva, let me know in the comments below. So if I pull this up here, say maybe like this, and then I'm going to change this black color to this gold color. And then I'm going to come over to the transparency, and for all of the graphic backgrounds I created, I used 22 as the opacity. And you'll see that's how I created these backgrounds. But again, you can completely customize this to your liking. You can have some funky patterns like this one over here, and you can adjust it to your brand colors. Maybe you want to have a couple elements here, so you could have it like this and like this. You really can do whatever you would like. So again, this is 1800 by 1400, and I just searched the images, I changed the background, I changed the colors, I added transparency to 22, so it was a very light background. It wasn't too abrasive, and that's basically how I did it. I clicked download and I downloaded the image as a PNG file, and then as you see in the tutorial, I just uploaded it as we went. So again, I'm sorry for excluding this in the original edit, but that is how you do it. Once that's uploaded, you could choose the width, so you could have it as a full bleed, so it stretches the full width of your background, or you can have it inset if you would like to have a border around it. And then you can also adjust the opacity to your liking, so basically how transparent it is. We're going to keep it at 15 and full bleed. And the next thing I'm going to show you is the colors, and here are all the themes that we were talking about. So for this one, we're going to select Accent Dark. Perfect. So you can also expand your website just to see how it looks as you go. If you want to see it on full width, you'll see how it looks. This is our first section. And then we're going to go ahead and create our second section. So come back into edit. Okay, so we're going to click the blue plus icon to add a new section, and we're going to select blank again. And we're going to click the teardrop icon and put together 3 spacers. And then we're just going to drag these to create 3 columns. And I'm going to paste my services text. Again, just hovering over under the little column so that we can see that it's only going to display under the column and not the full width of the page. I'll just change this to. And of course, you want to adjust this to your own content. So select small paragraph for the learn more. And the other thing with learn more is you can put a button here. So if you want, you can hover over and select a button. I'm just going to link these all to the services page, and if you have individual pages for your services, then you would just link those to those pages. So again, /services. This is why we created our pages up front before we filled them. Just makes things a little bit easier. Click apply. Hyperlink. /services and apply. So I'm just going to highlight this, make it centered, and click medium header. Do the same for the other 2 sections. Center it, medium header, highlight, center it, and medium header. Perfect. Then I'm going to delete these spacers because we don't need them. I'm going to click the pencil icon again. We're going to select medium width, medium, and content alignment in the center. Background, I'm going to add an image again, and I've got my second background here. select colors, turn off the default theme, scroll down and click accent dark again. Once you're done, click done and save because we don't want to lose any of our stuff. We're just going to click edit again and we're going to go straight for the third section. So click the little blue plus icon, blank section again. You're a pro at this now. And this time we're going to have a subscribe to my newsletter section. So we're going to hover over, select a line, select another line, and then we're going to come in between the middle and we're going to select a newsletter. So here it is here, or you could just type it in here. So we'll click newsletter, and here we have our newsletter form. Now the form name, you want to make it something so that you know where people are signing up from. So I'm going to put home newsletter form. I'm going to take away the subscribe, the description. I'm going to require a name field so that I can personalize my emails. And I'm going to remove this for now and leave it as sign up, center it, float fields is fine, storage. Now if you're using Squarespace email campaigns, you would link it to your mailing list. You can also connect MailChimp or Zapier or Google Drive. Post Submit allows you to add a thank you message if you want to create a page that you direct people to after they sign up, such as a thank you page, or you maybe want to put a tripwire and give them another offer. You can click here and add your page in here. Click apply. And then the next thing is I'm going to bring the teardrop icon just above the newsletter form, and I'm going to add some text that says subscribe to my newsletter. I'm going to highlight it. I'm going to select medium header. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag the newsletter to the side of it. And pull it across so that it displays like this. Now it looks a little bit funny, but once we pull this out here, you'll see that it's all on one line. So then what we're going to do is click on the little pencil icon again, section height medium. This time our content width is going to be large, but our content alignment will stay in the middle. Background, we don't have a background for this one, so we're just going to go straight to colors, turn off the default, and come down to accent dark. And now you'll see why I added accent dark on all the different sections, because even though these ones had backgrounds, I wanted to maintain a consistent look and feel for the sections that didn't have backgrounds. So delete this text block. Again, don't worry about this because when we expand out it will be fine. Select done and save, so we save our work as we go. Click on edit again. Add the blue plus icon again. And you got it, it's a blank section. And the next thing we're going to do is add a teardrop icon, spacer, and we're going to add another spacer and drag it across to create two columns. Now under this first column we're going to click and add an image, and here if I go back to my Parisian vertical, I did the exact same thing I did with this one, except I dragged it so it was a little bit in. I added some text, just using the text tab here. And then all I did was I circled it round to be 90-degree angle and placed it here. Now when I downloaded this, I had to download it on a transparent background. This does mean you need Canva for work to do this. I highly recommend it if you're not a graphic designer but are looking to do this. You can get a free trial, so I recommend doing that for 30 days. That's plenty of time to create your website. If we can create it in about an hour today, we can definitely use that trial up, no problem. So click all pages, select page 2, work with me, done, transparent, and click download. Now if you find that your picture is a little fuzzy, just up the size a little. You don't want to upload it 3 times if you can avoid it, just because it will make the site load a lot slower because you'll have these big images. But if you need to adjust it slightly, go ahead and do that. Click download, go back to your site, click add image. So once that image is uploaded, go to the design tab, and this time we are going to scroll down because we do want this to click through to something. We want this to click through to our services page. So again, /services, or click the gear icon and search for it. Click apply. And we want to come over to the second column, and we're going to click on the teardrop icon, add another image. And right underneath it, I'm going to add another image as well, just before I upload these. And the reason I'm adding two now is so that I can show you how I created these. So again, came back to Canva. This time, the size of these graphics are 550 by 400. Now you'll see I didn't use the whole width or height, of the image. I adjusted it accordingly. And to make sure they were the same size, I duplicated it and then I swapped over the images. So I pulled it to this side, clicked my text, changed it over to 90 and adjusted it that way, and then just double clicked and changed it to portfolio, and I just pulled in a new image here, hovered it back over, and that's how I did that to make sure they were even. So once you've done that, click on download. You want to do a PNG so you can download it on a transparent background. Again, adjust the size if you need to. We're going to come back, click add image, and we're going to upload our images here. Again, click on design, scroll down, click through URL /about. Click apply. We're going to come down to our second image and upload our portfolio image here. Again, we'll click on design, scroll down, and /portfolio. Click apply. We're going to scroll up, delete our spacers. Okay, so then we're going to click the pencil icon again, and we're going to select section medium, content width medium. It's all centered, no background this time. Click colors, turn the default off, scroll down to accent dark. You're a complete pro at this already. And click done and save. Perfect. Now we're going to click edit again. We're almost done with our first page. Okay, so we'll click the blue plus icon again. You guessed it, blank page. And we're going to add two spacers again, side by side. And under the first column, we're going to add some text. I'm going to come back to my text tab here. And I'm just going to copy and paste this. So we've got kind words, the name of our client, and then some lorem ipsum text, which would be a testimonial, ideally. So I'm going to highlight this. I'm going to make it a medium header. I'm going to scroll above or underneath, whatever works. If we get it in the right place in the end, drag it to the side of kind words here. And then I'm going to copy the name of client and the testimonial, and I'm going to make this right aligned just to make it a little bit more interesting. And then under this column, the second column on the right, I'm going to add an image. I'm going to upload an image, and we don't really need to do anything to this one, so click apply. We'll delete our spacers again. Click the pencil icon, content width medium. And this time we do have a background, so click add image and we'll select our third background. Here we go. And I wanted to show you this one because you'll see I used the same size for each background section, but the height of each background is not the same. So you might find that you get, say, these flowers cut off. How you would deal with that is you would scroll down, click edit image, click on the crop, and now you can adjust it. If we click on custom, for example, I can make this much smaller. Say about here, click save. Perfect, so you'll now see that they appear in the right place, or where I would like them to appear. So you again just click edit image to do that, select colors, and we're going to select accent dark, and then we're going to select done and save. And we essentially have our home page. So if I pull this out and we expand on it, you'll see if I scroll all the way up, we now have our home page and it's starting to look like a real website. Don't worry about the footer, we'll adjust this later on. Now, there is some things I would want to change about my homepage. For example, I think that these black lines would be much nicer in these gold colors. So before I create any more pages, I'm going to adjust that. So come back out of Home, select Design, Colors. Now I want to change the color of these lines, which are in the Accent Dark section. So I'm going to scroll down to my theme, select Accent Dark, click on the pencil icon, and you can adjust the settings of this section here. Now what's great is you can also just hover over a section and it will bring up the settings for that particular content element. So I'm going to click on the line and I'm going to change the line to my palette color and I want it to be gold. Perfect. Now the other thing I want to change is my buttons. I want that to be gold too. So I'm going to click on the button and here select background, change it from black to my palette gold. Perfect. And the text I could change to something else if I want. I like how it looks, so that's perfect. And I think that's pretty much everything. But you'll see it's a lot easier to do it once you've got the content in. That's why I don't fiddle too much around with the colors until I've put the images in and elements, and then I can adjust it accordingly. And I would recommend that you do the same. So we'll come back out of colors, click Save. Okay, so we're now ready to create our About page. So come back into Pages, click About, and we're just going to do the same thing all over again. Click Edit, Add Page Content, blank. We're going to stick some text in here. I'm going to put About. You can make this a large heading or an extra large heading. We're going to center it, and then I'm going to come under the About and I'm just going to add an image. Upload an image. Click Apply. And click the little pencil icon. I'm going to do medium content with medium section height centered. Background, we're going to add our background image, so About background 1. Select colors, default off, accent dark, and done, and save. We're going to come back into it. Okay, so we're going to click the blue plus icon again, blank. Teardrop icon, text, and we're going to write featured on. Highlight this, center it, and we're going to put large. So this website is more designed for, say, an influencer, like a social influencer. So maybe they've been featured in blog posts or big company websites. You could also change this to clients if you wanted to do that. That's a great option. Or again, if you've been featured in something. So click the teardrop icon, spacer, and we're going to add 4 spacers this time. So teardrop icon, spacer, 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 and we're going to drag them side by side so we have room for 4 logos. You can of course change this to whatever you would like to display, and we're just going to click to add an image. I'm going to add all my images in first. So to display my logos and make sure they're all even, again, I came into Canva, this time 300 by 200, and I uploaded my, well, I made these logos up, but you would upload the logos of the companies you've worked with. Now this is my own logo. If we go on filter, you'll see that if I click none, it's my regular color. I wanted these all to display cleanly in black and white, so to adjust this I just clicked on the filter and I went to street, and it kind of gave it that black and white look so it would all fit in. Again, download PNG transparent background, click download, come back to your site, and then we're going to add these images in. We'll just remove these spacers, click the pencil icon. Again, we're going to do medium, medium, centered, background, no background, colors, turn off default, scroll down to accent dark, select done and save. And we're going to click edit again. This time we'll add the plus icon and a blank page. So again, we're going to add 2 spacers to create 2 columns. And on this first side, we're going to add an image. I'm going to upload my image. This one doesn't have a border. You can add a border if you wish. I just thought I'd mix it up here. Apply, and over here we're going to add some text. So click the teardrop icon and add some text. Paste it in here. Click the pencil icon, select medium and mediums. This looks a little bit neater. Background, this time we do have a background 2. And we're going to select colors again, turn it off, accent dark. But if you want to change this up, by the way, you can. Feel free to do that. We're just selecting accent dark for this particular design. Save, edit. We're going to add another section, blank. So we're going to click the teardrop icon, add some text, add core values. Again, you could switch this up, maybe share something like things you don't know about me or things you should know, and make it a little bit more personal if you would rather do that. Large heading, and I'm going to click the teardrop icon and add 2 spacers to create 2 columns. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click the teardrop icon, click on text. So then what I'm going to do is click the text icon under this column. I'm going to put the plus, and if you hit space it will turn to a bullet point. Just hit back to change that. And then I'm going to place in my core values. So the first one is honesty. We all love a bit of honesty, right? Double click to highlight it. Choose small header, and then underneath we're going to click and add a line. Underneath that we're going to add our text again, and we're going to add our second core value. Again, backspace to create that plus. Underneath, line. And we're just going to repeat the process until we have all our core values on this side, and then we're just going to repeat the process again so that we have nice 2 even columns filled with our core values. So you can either delete these spacers, keep them in, or adjust them by clicking on them, looking for this little middle hook and pulling it up so it's a little bit smaller. Then we're going to click the pencil icon, medium, background. Then we're going to add an image, background 3 this time. Colors, turn off default, scroll down, go to accent dark. And you'll see this change the lines. So again, this is why you want to customize each of the different sections, because if you had maybe dark minimal, we wouldn't want the lines to be gold because the background would be gold. So once you've done that, click done and save. Click edit again. Click the blue plus icon, add a new section, add blank. We're going to add 2 spacers to create 2 columns again. This time we're going to add an image in here, upload an image. And you'll see I created this by just taking one image and adding it on top of another. Click apply, and this time I'm going to scroll down, and underneath the image I'm going to put my name of client. Click bold. Okay, so in the right hand column, click the teardrop icon, click text. We're going to write kind words here. And we're going to highlight this, select medium header. We're going to add a line underneath, paste our testimonial. Okay, so to make things a little bit more interesting, we're going to hover over underneath all so it's the full page width. Click the teardrop icon, select a line. Underneath, select some more text, write view services. Double click. We're going to do a medium header, I think. That's perfect. And we're going to click the hyperlink, and we're going to do / services. Apply, write a line, and then we're going to drag our view services to the side of the line, and we're going to pull it just a little more than halfway so it looks like this. Perfect. Now we're going to click on the pencil icon, medium again, background, no background, colors, default off, scroll down, accent dark. We'll just delete these spacers. Click done and save, and now you have your about page. So now you have your about page. We're going to go on to services, click edit, add a new section, blank, and this time we're just going to add some text, paste in our text here, and then I'm going to go under and I'm going to select a button. And here I'm going to put download media kit. Now, as I mentioned, this is more for an influencer, so a media kit would be relevant here, but you could totally change that to a services guide and make it relevant. Now, on the click-through URL, what we're going to do differently is click on this gear icon, go to File, and then you can upload a PDF file and click Open in Window. Now, I don't have a PDF file that I've created specifically for this website, but you would create one. You can create one in Canva if you wish. You would just go to your Canva account. So once you're in your Canva account, you could select A4 document, and it will give you some templates to get started, or you could select a blank one and you could just fill in, drag and drop, add images as you wish. So coming back here, we would do that, select apply. So once you've done that, click the pencil icon, and since this is a top image, we're going to make sure the height is large, especially because we don't have an image in here to fill it up. Content width medium. Background, we're going to add our first background image. Once that's done, click on colors, default off, scroll down, accent dark, hit save. And we're just going to click edit again, add a new section, blank. And this one's a little bit different, so we're going to add spacers for every social network you're on. Again, this is based on an influencer. You can change this to what you would like. We're going to add 6 spacers for 6 different platforms. Adjust them by just hovering over this middle section and dragging them out to make sure they're all evenly spaced out. Then we're going to add some text. So I'll just change this to Facebook and then obviously adjust the numbers to fit. We're going to delete these spacers. So then what we're going to do is we're going to select a line and we're going to drag it so that it's on top of all 6 columns. And then we're going to take another line and we're going to drag it so it's on the bottom of all 6 columns. So you've kind of got these 6 columns within the lines. Click the pencil icon. We're going to keep this because it's a lot of text. If you only have a few platforms, you can make this a medium width if you want to. It might look a little bit neater. No background, colors, default off, accent dark. Done, save, click edit again. New blank section. Okay, so we'll add some text in. We'll put work with me. Highlight, make it large and centered, and then we're going to create 2 spacer columns. And this one is a little bit complicated how I've designed it, but I think it looks really pretty and you can adjust it to your own services, so we're going to go for it. We're going to start with an image. And another image. And then we'll come back to this first image, and what we're going to do is we're going to add a spacer, and another spacer. And we're going to drag it to create 3 columns, but under this single column. So it's like 1, 2, 3 under this section. And what we're going to do is add some text. So I added type with a medium paragraph, and again, sponsored. And I've just made this italic. Add more text again, and add some more text again. So we're going to do the same thing on this side, so we might as well do it side by side. Again, just making sure they're even. Add some text. And then we can delete these spacers for now. And now what we're going to do is add a line still under the single column, but under the 3 columns we've just created. So a line here, and again on the other side. So then we're just going to add some more text in. And again on the other side, some more text. And a line under each of these again. And we're going to add one more text block with the pricing. So I've put this in as medium headers just to make it stand out and for transparency. So let's just put this one and we'll add a 0. Okay, perfect. So come up, delete these spacers if you want, or keep it if you want some space. I like to keep a little bit of space, but we're going to click and drag it up so it's a little bit less than the standard. Click the pencil icon, select section height medium, medium, and you'll see this looks a lot neater now you've added this in here like this. No background, we'll just come to colors and change to accent dark. Now the reason I didn't add as much backgrounds on this one is just because there's a lot of information and a lot going on, so we didn't want to distract too much for the website visitor. We want to focus on the content. Edit again, we'll add a section, blank, and again we're going to add 2 spacers, but we're going to do it a little bit differently this time. So if we drag it over, we don't want it to be in the middle. We're going to find the center line and drag it over. And under this spacer, we're just going to do view my work. Highlight, medium header. And then we're going to add a button under this left-hand column. And we're going to put portfolio. Click through / portfolio, or click the gear icon to get the page. Medium, center, we want it to be left. Click apply. So on this column we're going to do 3 more spacers. And I'm going to drag them side by side so we have 3 columns that are even. Just like that. And then underneath we're going to add images. So I'm going to add the image blocks in first and then we'll add the images in. So I'm going to do 6 images in total, 2 rows of 3. So now I'm going to add my portfolio images in, and I already have these here. And once that's uploaded, I'm going to click the pencil icon. I'm going to select image editor. I'm going to do the crop feature again, and I'm going to make this one a square. Apply, add another image. This time I'm going to click the image editor again, crop, and this time I'm going to select 3 by 4. Drag it over, click save, click apply, and then add a 3rd image. Again, we'll click the pencil icon, image editor, crop, square, adjust accordingly, and apply. And then underneath we're literally going to do the opposite. So this will be a 4 by 5 image, this will be a square, and this will be a 4 by 5 image. So once you've uploaded your 6 images, you'll see that you have this little grid that's a lot more dynamic. So what we're going to do is we're going to remove this spacer and this spacer and this spacer and just this top spacer for now. We'll click the pencil icon, we're going to select medium, and then we're going to skip background, go to color, default off, accent dark. But before we hit save, we're going to take this spacer bar, find a little, I don't know what you call this, like a little dongle, I guess you call it, and you drag it down here so that it's actually displaying a little bit lower down. Once you're happy with the placement, click done, click save, hit edit again, scroll down and add a new section, and we're going to add 2 spacers again. On this side, we're going to add an image. We're going to edit it into a square. So crop, square. Underneath it, we're going to add some text. And we're also going to add a button that says contact. Scroll down, align it to the left, click apply. And then we're going to come over to the other side and add another image again. And underneath we're going to add a line. So the next thing we're going to do is click on the pencil icon. We're going to make it a medium width We'll change the color off of default to accent dark again. Okay, so once you've done that, remove the spacer on the left-hand column. And then what we're going to do is we're going to find the middle and we're going to drag it so that it displays, this is about 2/3, I would say, of the way. And I'm going to keep this spacer. In fact, I'm going to drag it a little bit more down just to give some hierarchy to these images and just make it look a little bit nicer. Once you're done, click Save and you now have your services page. Okay, so we're now on portfolio. I'm going to skip this for now and go to contact because the portfolio is a little bit more tricky, whereas the contact page, pretty straightforward. So we'll go to contact, click edit. Okay, so add another blank section. So again, we're going to add 2 spacers. Drag them side by side. Add our image. I'm going to drag this over to about here. So then I'm going to do something different. I'm going to come underneath this image in this space and I'm going to add another 2 spacers side by side. And this time I'm going to drag this slightly to the left, so just 1 step over to the left. Underneath that spacer I'm going to add text. I'm going to write contact. Double click, large. Underneath the contact I'm going to add a line. And then I'm going to add some more text. And then again underneath that we're going to do something different. We're going to click the teardrop icon and we're going to add a form this time. So here's our form. We'll name it contact form. Storage, you can select which email it would go to. If this is a business contact form, I don't recommend linking it up to MailChimp. It's better it goes to a professional email. Click on advanced and you can put your submit button, align it. Again, you can direct it to a thank you page or just put a thank you message. What I'm interested in showing you here is if you scroll down to Lightbox, you can enable Lightbox and that will change it from a form to a button that opens a form. So it's a little bit neater. So we'll just put contact here, click apply. So this time we're not going to delete both spacers, but we will delete this first one here. And I'm just going to change this contact to make it extra large, so that it displays a bit neater. And again, you can choose whether you delete this spacer, but we're not going to delete this one. We need to keep this one here. So we're going to click the pencil icon, medium, medium, no background but color, default off, scroll down, accent dark. Perfect. And now you have your contact page. Now, before we dive into the portfolio page, it's important to know that basically we're sharing different projects on this page, and I'm using the blog feature to do this. So in the not linked section, before we go ahead and create our portfolio page, we want to set up our project feed or our blog feed if you would rather it was a blog. So click this plus icon, select blog, and you can choose how it displays. So I'm going to select this one, blog number 4. And we're going to put portfolio. And I'm going to delete these drafts here and the blog posts already included because we're going to create our own. So to add a new project, click on the plus icon. And you'll see it displays as a blog post. Now we want to click the pencil icon. And we want to adjust some settings. So I don't want to show the author name or the author profile or the date. Maybe I want to show the category. That's up to you. I'm going to switch it off for now. Content width, I'm going to select medium so that it fits with the rest of our website. Text align is fine. Colors, I'm going to turn this off and I'm going to change it to accent dark again, just so we can maintain the same look and feel throughout our site. So I'm just going to click and give this a name. So we're just going to call this Project 1. And what I'm going to do is just add some text in here, maybe add a line in, perhaps add an image. And you can play around with this so that the design is exactly how you would desire it to be. You don't have to have images or text in certain places. You can play around with spacing and spacer bars and having text and images in a different combination. I'm going to add some more text here. So I'll give you an example of what I mean. If I add 2 spacers here, maybe I can add a line under this one and an image here. Perhaps add an image here. Add a line in again and add another image. Click apply and remove the spacers. So that's just one layout, but you can customize the different project layouts however you'd like. Once you're done, click on the settings tab, and this is where you can adjust your settings for SEO purposes. You can give it a category. So we're going to definitely give this one a category. We're going to call this one clothes. Again, this would be your blog categories if you would rather show this as a blog. Now, options, you can add a thumbnail image in here. You can add an excerpt. You can give this a name, so company name or project 1. SEO, you can give it a title and a description. Social, you can give it social sharing images, so when you share it out on social, there's an image attached to it in the link preview. And then once you publish it, you can obviously, if you've connected your accounts, you can promote it. So click apply. Now, because this is a blog post, the other thing I'd say is it doesn't publish straight away. So make sure you publish it before you create your portfolio page too, just so that it can appear and show up. So click publish and you'll see that it's now live and you can share it with your followers. We're just going to ignore this for now and click done. And you're going to go ahead and create roughly 3 or 4 projects just so it displays a bit neater. Come back into pages, click portfolio, we'll click on edit, we'll add page content, we're going to add a blank section, and then we're just going to add some text in here. So I've centered everything, added an extra large header and then a large paragraph, and I'm just going to add a line under this one. So we'll click the pencil icon, and this time I'm going to do section height large and then medium content width because we don't have an image behind it. So just to make it a little bit bigger, no background, default off, accent dark. So another thing you can do here is click on the teardrop icon and search for archive. Now this will allow you to connect your blog, or in our case our portfolio feed. So we'll click portfolio, display, and this time we're going to select and drop down. We're going to give it a name of categories, that way people can search through the various company types that we've worked with. We're going to group it by categories, and sort by name is fine. We're clicking apply. Now on this side underneath we're going to click search. We're going to use a search content block and we're going to just click apply, and we're just going to drag it to the side. This allows people to just search through our various projects if they're looking for something specific. Done, save, and then we'll come back and edit again, add a new content section, blank. And what we're going to do is add 2 spacers. And this time I'm going to go on the pencil icon and make it medium straight away so that I can get a better feel for the spacing. And I'm going to drag this over so I've almost got like a sidebar here and then a main page or a main section. Under here, we're going to click the teardrop icon, and then we're going to go down to summary and we're going to select wall. We're going to click on portfolio, layout, wall's fine, all of these settings are fine, but you can adjust accordingly. Display, I'm going to take the date off here. And number of items, I'm just going to put right the way up because I want this to act almost like my main portfolio feed. I want people to see everything here. Click apply. I'm going to delete this spacer. Under this column, I'm going to add an image. Apply. I'm going to delete this spacer now. I'm going to add some text underneath, just some intro text. Maybe I'll link to the about page because people might be interested in that if they're on this page. /about. Click apply. Then underneath that, I'm going to do a line and I'm going to add some more text. Put let's connect. Center that. Small heading. And then underneath that, I'm going to add some social links. And again, you can add as many as you like. I'm going to add a line again. And if you remember, we created a media kit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add that in here by doing an image, uploading a picture of my media kit. Again, you can do that just by downloading an image from Canva. If you create the A4 document, you would just download the first image as a PNG. So that would look something like this. And again, if you want to add a search bar or anything in here, you can do that too. Okay, so we'll click the pencil icon, select colors, scroll down to accent dark, and select save. Now this page doesn't look like much now, but I promise you once you've added your projects in, it will look fantastic. Now the last thing we need to do is sort out this footer. And so we're going to click on edit again, scroll down, and then edit footer. Now on this side, I'm going to take all of this off. So once I've removed all that content, I'm going to click on the pencil icon, and you'll see here naturally the content is aligned to the left. I'm going to change that to the center. The section height is going to be small, but the content width is going to be long. Now while we're here, I'm also going to change the color to our accent dark. So once that's done, we can add 2 spacers side by side again. This column is going to be much shorter, and I'm just going to add some text underneath. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the main navigation menu items down here again, because this will rank in search engines too. And it will just help people, if they scroll down to the bottom, get to the next page they want to be at. So highlight it, link it, and then /home. And do the same for all the main pages of your site. Once you've done that, underneath, click on social links. And you can display your social links here. I'm going to go to design. Alignment left, small, regular is fine. I'm going to delete this text here. I'm going to delete the spacer bar. And then here I'm going to search Instagram. And if you remember, we connected our account before, so this is going to display my images, but this would naturally be the images that you upload to your Instagram. Design, you can change the sizing, the crop, the padding around it. Open links in new tabs so that it links to your Instagram. I'm going to delete this spacer. And I'm actually going to drag this over just a little bit so it's a little bit neater, maybe like here. Then I'm going to add a line, and then I'm going to add some text. So I'm just going to put follow along at username. And you would link your username here. So you would link it to your Instagram account. And I'm just going to make it italic, and then I'm going to make it a medium heading. And done. And essentially you've created your website. Now there's a couple of little tweaks you might want to make before you're done. For example, you might want to go into design and colors, and if we go to accent dark, which is what we use for pretty much everything, you could change your navigation links to gold, and you might want to change your social icons to gold. And things like that. Your button here, you might want to change to gold so that everything kind of is cohesive and has a good look. And save. And the last thing we're going to adjust is your header, because we haven't added a logo in yet. So here you can just go on site logo. Now this logo was created using the same font that we used on Canva, which was Polish Regular, and I'll link to that font in the description below. But you can adjust this to whatever you want it to be, and you can adjust the height and the mobile height as well. Click back. Now in the header, you can also adjust if you want to have a block header, you can add that in here too. Social links, you can add that in too, or if you want to add a button like get started, you could add that here. And again, you can click this gear icon and link it directly to a file, a phone number, email, or a page on your website, for example, a lead magnet page. If you have a store and you go on to create one, you can also add your cart in. Now, one thing you will want to do on every page, which I didn't talk about because it really just wasn't the purpose of this video, I can talk about it more if you would like, just request it in the comments below, is your page settings. So for each page, you do definitely want to go through and select your page settings. Make sure you have your navigation title, your URL slug is neat. Make sure you've got enable page. Don't have a password for any page you want to be public. For search engine optimization, on your main page you will have your edit, your SEO settings, but on every other page it will allow you to add your SEO settings in here too. Social sharing, so you want to add an image to each page so that when you share it out on social media, an image is attached to the link. And then advanced is if you're adding code, which is of course only available on business and commerce plans. So once you've done that, hit save and you now have a brand new website. So let's walk through it all. So this is your home page, your about page, services, so the last thing I did is I went and filled in some of these projects so that we've got these fully in and completed, so we can click on each of them to display. Having these projects filled in before you publish your site is really important because you don't want to have a blank space here. It can look really messy and unprofessional and like you're new to the game, when the truth is this site is designed to offer more of a premium look and a higher end experience. So you want to make sure that the content on your website matches that. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you found it valuable. I tried to keep it a little bit shorter, so I maybe didn't include certain features that you might want to add to your Squarespace website, which is why I recommend checking out these videos next before you hit the launch button on your brand new site. And if you enjoyed it, maybe hang around, hit like or subscribe, and I'll catch you next time with another video. Never forget, my friend, you have the power to change the world one connection and one conversation at a time. Much love from my heart to yours.